Hello and welcome once again everyone. Today's video features a full review of the brand new Russian Tier 10 premium battleship, Slava. I published some gameplay footage the other day, but this will be a more in-depth look at the ship, including its capabilities, ship stats, her strengths and weaknesses. Let me put up the complete build I've been using on the Slava and the exact build I'm using in this match, so you have a better understanding of how and why the ship performs as it does. As you can see, it's a standard Russian battleship build, with just one little exception to the usual. The sharp-eyed among you will already have noticed I'm using the propulsion module in slot 4, which I'll explain later, reasoning behind it and why it works particularly well in the case of the Slava. Before getting into the meat and bones of tactics and strategy for playing Slava, let's look at her armor layout. What immediately stands out is the very low armor protection of just 25mm on both bow and stern sections, which means basically every battleship you will encounter from Tier 8 upwards is capable of overmatching Slava. Even the Tier 9 supercruiser Siegfried is capable of citadeling Slava through both bow and stern if angled incorrectly. Not only is this 25mm very vulnerable to armor piercing, but coupled with a main deck protection of just 32mm, you will also take high explosive penetration damage from the vast majority of HE spamming cruisers, no matter where the shells land. This level of protection dictates a range and stealth strategy, because if Slava is forced to endure any kind of sustained high explosive focus, she will go down fast, and I mean fast. Slava gets an upper casemate armor of 150mm, covering the full area from front to rear turret. The central citadel armor belt is 350mm, while the citadel armor under all the turrets is protected by 370mm. There is a semi-icebreaker bow of 100mm, helping fore-end protection, but it's the aft-end armor belt that really stands out, with 100mm and an additional 300mm section, making Slava feel very tanky when angled stern towards the enemy. Slava's main turrets are very well protected, with a frontal plate of 550mm, a rear plating of 508mm, and slope sides and top plating of 254mm. In over 50 games now, I'm yet to lose a turret, so they feel very solid indeed. Slava gets 91,800 hit points, which is further enhanced by having 4 repair parties. And yes, that is using Superintendent, so 1 less than most of her Tier 10 competition. So again, start thinking range and stealth tactics, instead of the usual Russian tactics of brute force, charging the enemy and tanking damage. Slava's torpedo protection damage reduction is only 29%, which is also at the bottom end, so again, range and stealth will go a long way to negating the torpedo threat. And so we come to the main battery. Slava is a true sniper, capable of delivering devastating salvos at long range. Slava gets 9 460mm guns in a 3x3 turret layout, 2 fore and 1 aft. With this exact build, these turrets have a 180-degree turning time of 43.1 seconds, a max firing range of 24.7 kilometers, and a reload time of 29.5 seconds. These guns have a sigma of 1.9 and a max dispersion of 212 meters at max range. If you choose to go the route of Gunfire Control System Mod 2, in slot 6 instead of the reload mod, Slava's range can be increased to a massive 28.6 kilometers, but with a slower reload time of 33.5 seconds, with the additional drawback of having increased max dispersion to 231 meters. Again, for the sake of clarity, I'm using the reload mod in this video, and in a word, these guns are impressive. If one were to make a quick comparison with, say, the Kremlin for example, at first glance these guns might seem underwhelming on paper, due to having both a lower gun caliber and reload time, but the truth is the exact opposite. With uniform shell ballistics for both AP and HE rounds of 870 meters per second, the apparent lack of any noticeable air drag, these armor-piercing shells have incredible penetration, even at max range. Slava's AP rounds are capable of inflicting a max damage 12,100, while her high explosive rounds have a max damage of 5,800, with a base fire chance of 40% and are capable of penetrating 68mm of armor protection, making her quite capable of dealing with angle targets. This combination of highly accurate, fast, hard-hitting shells make Slava deadly in the right hands, and when on the enemy team you need to be aware of her location at all times and angle accordingly. Slava's secondary battery consists of 16 130mm guns in an 8x2 turret layout, half of which are centrally mounted, allowing the majority to fire when a lone target enters their 6.3 kilometer firing range. These 130mm guns have a fast reload time of 4 seconds, firing HE shells with an 8% fire chance, and are capable of penetrating 22mm of armor, more than enough to deal rapid damage on destroyers. Slava gets an AA rating of 100, with a grand total of 100 AA guns, ranging from 25mm up to 130mm, with a max firing range of 6.6 km. Slava's AA pumps out an average continuous damage of 413 per second and fires 8 flak explosions per salvo, capable of a max damage of 1750. This may sound quite impressive, but a carrier that is determined to kill you will kill you. The great advantage of sitting deep at long range increases the flight time between attacks, prolonging the actual process, but even a tier 8 carrier like the Kaga can be deadly if it gets close. You will make them pay dearly with plane losses, however. It simply boils down to how stubborn your carrier opponent is and how eager he is to finish the job. When it comes to maneuverability, Slava feels very similar to the Kremlin, with a max base speed of 29.5 knots, increased to 31 knots when mounting the Sierra Mike signal flag, a turning circle radius of 1090 meters, and a rudder shift time of 16.3 seconds. I mentioned earlier I was using the propulsion module in upgrade slot 4, which reduces the time taken to reach full engine power when accelerating by 50%. This is incredibly effective when sitting at long range by rapidly being able to increase speed to throw off anyone's aim, combined with positioning oneself stern towards the main threats. Constantly playing with your speed, slowing down then rapidly speeding up, makes Slava at range very difficult to hit reliably. Finally, stats-wise, we come to Slava's Concealment. With a full stealth build utilizing both upgrades and captain skills, Slava gets a Concealment rating of 42, meaning you will be surface detected at 13.2 kilometers and from the air at 11.1 kilometers. Sitting deep will allow you to regularly drop detection and for the most part allow you to be that unseen danger waiting to pounce on any mistake or ship maneuvering to take advantage of any potential broadsides. So my impression on the Slava, well, it is only available behind the Research Bureau, and it takes a lot of regrinding lines to get the 63,000 research points in order to unlock it, which personally I'm not a fan of. The grinding, I mean. Slava in the right hands is incredibly dangerous, but a lot of people are already asking, is it good for the game to reward such a passive playstyle? As already the vast majority of battleships already sit back, reducing a lot of games to long-range snipe fests. I leave that up to you to draw your own conclusion. I hope I was able to share with you some useful information on how the Slava plays and how you can set it up, and make a more informed decision before attempting to regrind to be able to unlock Slava yourself. I'm quite sure there are many battleship captains out there drooling in anticipation of getting their hands on Slava, while many cruiser captains may already have their head in their hands in dismay at seeing her on the enemy team. So let's see how this game actually plays out. I recorded this game one day before the live update 0.9.7. So this ship still has officially test status, so you won't see any achievements in this actual game. That, however, doesn't diminish its performance in any way. This is the fully released version of Slava. And Venezia is proving to be a tricky customer. He's angled away virtually in every time I've fired at him so far. Managed to land 6400. Conqueror there. Enemy Kerr first. Kerr first is angled bow on. Not exactly ideal. There is a North Carolina there. Conqueror in the background. See what we can do with this Conqueror. He is showing just enough angle. L groupings looking very good. We get a Citadel, 12,500. The Conqueror goes down. We get kill number 4. Again, constantly reversing, playing with my speed. Forward and back makes Slava incredibly difficult to hit. Shots out on the enemy Venezia. This time we get our customer. Double Citadel, 24,000 damage. That's our unofficial Kraken. We're up to 199,000 damage. Grosser Kerr first is our next target. He is taking torpedoes. He's showing a little bit more angle. Aiming a little bit higher for that superstructure. We take out the Kerr first. That's kill number 6. Up to 215,000 damage. And we've simply been able to sit deep and take out these targets basically at will, without ever really coming under any pressure in this game. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.